Hey, everybody. Welcome to Game Audio Hour number, is it 140? It's 140.
It's a good tempo.
It's our weekly podcast where we discuss all things game audio.
From creative ideas to the latest techniques, project experiences to audio secrets, here is where you'll find in-depth coverage and opinions related to game audio.
Look at us, like a team. That was beautiful.
Smooth.
Yeah.
So smooth, it's smooth.
Smooth like an obituary, if I could.
Speaking of obituaries, hey Kyle, what's up?
Obituary, the BITCH.
Oh man.
See what I did with the obituary? Never mind. I'm full of funny.
You spent 10 minutes thinking of that one.
No, I just brought up obituary. Some credit. It took me 10 seconds. I waited for somebody to say something. Anyway, so sorry for the late start. We are trying to get our special guest, Gerard Marino, in here, but the Googs is not being polite to him. So he's going to pop in as he goes. He's restarted his laptop. He might be coming in via the phone because he's not actually getting connected through the link that Hangouts will send him either through email, and I also copied and pasted to him. So in the meantime, Vince did the spiel. Alex! That's Alex.
Hello. Hello.
I love seeing you on here.
Good morning. Good evening.
Good evening.
World. My name is Alex May. I'm very happy to be here. Very happy to be here. And you're going to have to ask me why now.
Hey, why are you very happy to be here?
Well, actually, this last weekend was the annual Japanese Bit Summit game event, and I've just come from that, and my legs are somewhat numb after 2 days of standing up. We were showing off our recent prototype called Paper Garden, which is a game about throwing paper planes. It's a VR title.
Nice.
And the reason that I am a little bit more happy than I usually would be after a Bit Summit event is because we took away the Famitsu Media Highlight Award for superior game design quality and magnificent audio.
That's really cool. That's excellent.
Hey, go on. I want to help Gerard really quickly. I'm muting.
If you know Famitsu is the probably what would we say, Vince? Probably the largest, most reputable game sort of media publication in Japan. Would you say, Vince?
Yeah, I think that's about right. It's been around for forever. And actually, the very beginnings of video game magazines in America pretty much modeled after Famitsu.
Yeah. Do you know why it's called Famitsu?
Well, I know that, let's see. I'm going to guess that the Fami part is connected to the Famicom.
I'd say you're right. That's right. Because Fami comes from the Famicom, which, of course, is the Japanese name for the chase. Take it away. Is the Japanese name for the
family?
No. No. It's the Japanese name for the Nintendo Entertainment System, otherwise known as the
Family Entertainment Computer.
No. Anyway, so in Japan, the Nintendo Entertainment System, it was called the Famicom, and then Tsu means like broadcast or transmission, so it's like the broadcasting up to the world. Anyway, we are, so we were the very proud recipients of this magnificent award. And actually, the event was fantastic, as Bit Summit usually is. Very low-key, very unpretentious, but a lot of great games, great people, new friends, old friends, just a great community. And our game was a riotous success. So that is how I am.
That is really cool. I've been keeping on meaning to check out Bit Summit. It's always at this time of year, and I think it's been going on for, 4 or 5 years now?
Yeah, that's right. This is the 5th one that we just finished.
Yeah. I got to go there, right? I just have to.
It's basically, if Tokyo Game Show is the equivalent of, E3? Then maybe, yes, Tokyo Game Show is the big commercial one, where it's all big, massive booths and lights and, sort of like ceiling fixtures and, booth babes and all that kind of stuff. Then, yes, that's right. So if that's Tokyo Game Show, then Bit Summit is more like the sort of, oh, wait a moment. Here's trouble. Stop press.
Oh, Gerard, I will go hunt down Google for you in your honor and slash their. Never mind, tires. I will Kratos their cars, sir.
I will stick my finger angrily at one of their driverless cars when the camera is facing in the other direction.
Yeah, exactly. Only after it's past me and it can't turn around.
And in honor of your studio, this is the drink.
What do you got?
Cheers.
What is that?
Cheers.
Like the color makes me think of what? Southern Comfort. What is that?
Hey, it's red, as Gerard said, the best color of a studio. He said it. You heard it here.
It's what I call a Marino Groni.
Oh.
It's like a Negroni, but instead of sweet vermouth, it's got lime Perrier in it.
Ooh.
So it's gin, Campari, and lime soda.
So
really, we should just be calling this the Game Audio Happy Hour. This is what it is.
Vince, you are on fire today.
I'll drink water.
It's at 6 o'clock. I mean, come on.
It is. It's true. Absolutely appropriate.
You know,
It's not 6 o'clock. It's 10:30 in the morning, guys. This is not time to be drinking.
Hey, as they say, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
My favorite Negroni, though, is the Al Capone, which instead of like you did with swapping out the vermouth, you swap out the gin for rye.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that might be interesting.
Got to make one of those tonight. You can get a good Al Capone at my favorite ride at Disneyland. What's that hotel or that restaurant with the bar in it? That's my favorite ride at Disneyland. I can't think of California Adventure side, the big old 40s hotel or restaurant. Anyway, somebody will tell me.
The Carthay Circle.
Carthay Circle. That's what I always say is my favorite ride at Disneyland.
Well, that is a really good bar and a really good restaurant. So yeah, definitely
it is fantastic.
worth mentioning.
Absolutely. Thank you, Carthay Circle, for sponsoring the show. Accidentally. Hey, Gerard, how you doing, man? After that technical crap.
Yeah, pretty good. Well, it's been like the last time I think I did a Google Hangout was with you guys a year ago. So I guess I needed a new plugin and blah, 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 blah. So we're all straight now.
Thanks to us, Google knows everything about you now, officially.
Right. Yeah, like they didn't already.
Well, I'm glad you're in here, man. We were just going through the to-dos, and I was going to say to Chase, what's up, buddy?
How's it going? I'm doing
How
well.
are you?
I'm just trying to stay cool. The valley is very hot right now. Everyone,
yeah.
We're doing fans and ice bucket challenges galore.
Ice bucket challenge. That's still around. The ice bucket challenge?
No, just for today and a couple other days.
What's the temperature down there or over there? Because I am west of you?
Yeah, I was in Simi earlier today. It was about 75, but now being in the valley, it's definitely probably like 95.
Yeah, it is a horrendous mid 70s here, I would say. It's just terrible.
That's like mid 70s. That's almost like close to boiling point.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Is that like 70 inch ton King's knuckles on a Wednesdays or something? Or
we're talking the superior Fahrenheit, sir.
Not Celsius.
I can't believe you invented it, right?
Yeah. Vince, how are you doing? Finally, I got to you. Sorry about that.
I'm doing all right. Had a fun and crazy weekend. If I wasn't working on plans for wedding, which I can't believe is less than 2 months away.
Oh, wow.
I was doing actually a talk over at Cal Poly Pomona, just talking about game audio stuff and talking to future game audio and other game developers over at a little student game developer conference. It's pretty cool. Pretty fun times.
Yeah, he did a great talk.
Chase, you're everywhere.
Were you
You were
there?
there too?
I was there. I did a alumni talk at the end.
Dang.
But Vince talked about it was game designers from Mars, game audio designers from Venus, ?
Yeah.
Literally. Vince was so great he didn't use the slides. It was just he just did it off the top of his head. I was so impressed.
What? Well, I wouldn't put it past him. So Vince, you're doing a men are from Mars, women are from Venus kind of thing, but it's game audio and game design. Is that what you did?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's basically, whoa, what was that? It's basically just talking about sort of how game audio guys work versus game developers, and iterative cycles just don't naturally line up, which is a big part of why it's such a struggle to try to connect.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Did they save your talk? Do you have a slideshow or anything that you could share on the website?
I don't know. I think someone actually recorded it because one of the administrators actually put a laptop and a webcam in front of me, and I guess they recorded it. And
actually,
I don't know, I'm actually kind of scared about that because I think I did maybe an okay job, but I also know I jumped all over the place because I didn't go according to plan. I had a presentation and a slideshow and all that, and I started off the talk by actually entertaining a couple of questions from the crowd, and I just kept on leapfrogging from those questions to points and then back to questions, and I just never touched my slides at all.
Gotcha. Well, you impressed the hell out of Chase.
Hey, as long as it worked, I hope it worked. Hopefully it was good.
What I'm saying, it seemed to work. So Gerard, what you up to, man?
Oh, your typical no good. No, I have been working on a DJ set. I noticed a need or a want or a desire for that sort of thing a couple of years ago when I hosted Orlando Nerd Fest, which was a giant music festival that it had like 50 acts, nerdcore rappers, which I just discovered what that was. There was video game DJs and game-related bands. So they had like 20 bands and 20 rappers and a couple of in-between sort of things.
Wow.
All these folks, all dedicated to making music that's just about video games or written from the perspective of characters of video games. I mean, some folks like these just really legit sounding, really talented prog rock metal, and all their songs are written from the perspective of Mega Man and about him and his trials and travails. Like, wow. And they have audiences. I was like, wow. And so I've seen these things, and most of these folks are really focusing on more classic video games and, decidedly on the Nintendo side of things, or maybe some newer indie stuff. But and also some of the bands, a lot of the bands were like that, except for Jason Hayes, our friend, his band Critical Hit. They were dedicated to everything. Yeah. And I was, and I just looked at that. I almost thought back then, wow, what about a metal God of War tribute band? But so I went from those ideas. Like there's this groundswell of a niche market of folks who just want to see cool game-related music live. And so I was like, I gotta get a piece of this because I always wanted to be a rock star of some sort, or just a performer. And so, and I thought I was just going to be Mr. Behind the Scenes until Video Games Live kind of opened up a little bit of an extra bite of the apple for game composers. There's always been so many of us were in bands or whatever. Yeah. And then so we get into the behind the scenes stuff. You definitely, I think you were right there with me on that front. And I can't speak for everyone, but I'm sure there's some designs. I mean, I've seen Chase rock the microphone at karaoke joint like nobody's business. I don't think he only just thought of it the day before.
Oh my gosh. No.
Oh, we got to hear some of this karaoke, Chase.
Oh my goodness.
Only at the club, man. I mean, yeah, we'll have the game audio karaoke hour one day, maybe. But like no cameras allowed. You have to be there.
Oh yeah. This cannot go to YouTube.
I really don't like it. I will sing in front of anybody, in front of any kind of crowds, but I prefer it's not some crappy audio on an iPhone from distance and whatever,
Yeah, of course.
You gotta be there. Come on, that's what live performance is all about. And that's why these folks are, I think today with, we'll get philosophical about it. Today with the music just being ever present and in tiny speakers that are always right here. And it's just free and it's it's compressed and all those different things that I'm sure have been bitched about here and other bars nearby. I think that folks really are getting into the live thing. Where else could you go and have big speakers and giant sound and people actually doing stuff on stage for you? That's what makes music special. Music is kind of become a little bit unspecial just because it's been free and it
Yeah.
beams down upon us and it's like you have to try not to hear music in this day and age. And so when you want to actually have a special musical experience, you got to go somewhere, have it done live, see it live.
I wonder if that's why these days vinyl is coming back so strongly, just because it's so much harder. You know, it's not like
it makes it an event to listen
exactly.
to.
It does.
Yeah, you don't just double click on it. You got to get it out, and then you get this massive piece of art in front of you, and you got to get all the dust off, and then put it on there, and then get the needle on there, and it's just so hard. But
They like sit down,
Get a drink.
and then all the stuff is right. That used that back when I was a kid. You know, I mean, that's what we had, and
We had that
we'd
luck.
sit down
We
with
had that
the
experience.
records. We put the record on, and we'd read the notes. You know, we'd read whatever was on there. If there was lyrics, if there was. I mean, I knew who all the producers were on all those things, and the percussionists and the second flutist or whatever. You know, it's because if you listen to something over and over again, you read that over and over again.
There were no second flutists on Kiss records. Just wanted to point that out.
I think on The Elder there was.
Oh, maybe on Dynasty, that disco record.
What is it, The Book of the Elder? Come on.
Oh, Kiss put out an album called Book.
Produced orchestral Kiss album. Probably had a second flutist.
I have never heard of that era. I stopped at 76. When they went disco, I was done. That must have been after that.
Well, if they went disco, they went orchestra after it then.
Oh, well, I missed out on the good years, I guess.
That would have been like the only Kiss album you ever liked, I think. Because you've been like a hardcore non-Kiss fan as long as I've known you.
Yeah, maybe a little.
But anyway, so I'm taking a long way around. But you know, I ultimately settled on the idea that that a DJ thing could work, that could be a way to go, and it's an interesting combination of parts of my past. But
You're tying it all to video games?
But yeah, what I'm doing is I'm mashing up more current, you know, like in the last decade or so, orchestral video game music with dope as club beats, you know, whatever's, and sometimes the actual tracks themselves. Sometimes I'm making a remix where I'm adding everything that would be clubby. And sometimes I'm actually just taking a Skrillex tune and chopping out sections and sticking Overwatch themes in there. And so the thing is, you know, club music, it's got what makes good club music that makes people want to dance is, you know, slamming beats that viscerally make you feel something, just like that.
Yeah.
But also the ones that everyone loves that you think about for years are the ones that somehow emotionally connect to you. And so I think it might even call it cheating. But if you've played Overwatch for 100 hours in the last 2 weeks, and you go into a club and some slamming, you know, thing happens, and then all of a sudden, da 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 comes on, you're just gonna like, fucking great. So,
hell yes.
You know, excuse my French, but
no.
so
Gerard,
yeah,
I'm actually,
so that's
Gerard,
like the thing. I want to bring the two worlds together. Maybe bring the geeks and the club kids together. You know, and just have fun across the board. And you know, and I'm not just spinning. I'm doing prior remixes, but I also bring in some controllers on stage. I've got a Rolly Seaboard that I'm making some noise.
Oh yeah.
I'm using that GeoShred app from that's such an amazing app from Jordan Rudis's outfit. And on this particular show, I'm doing a show. I'm like debuting on the first night of E3 at the Mayan Theater in downtown Los Angeles.
Oh,
And
nice.
me and a couple of crazy compatriots have decided to book a show there. We've got a lineup of video game DJs, and me and my pal are going to be in the midst of it all.
Nice.
And my friend, you're going to love this. I'll send you guys a link or a clip.
Yeah.
A good pal of mine for a long time. He's a musician and a visual artist, and he's done visual arts for the Kiss tour, and but also Rush and lots of corporate events like you know, when Cisco does this giant sales event in San Francisco where they rent out the convention center and everything's projected and there's 100 speakers and some crazy Epcot style multimedia event. He does the visuals for those things as well. But he invented this thing. He basically took apart a Roland V drum kit and reinvented it with a bunch of lights in it. And so he's got this drum set based live visual effects performance device.
Wow.
That has, it's like a Roland V drum. It's also got a split brain that goes to Ableton Live, all of which goes out to a visual effects OSC system. So that he can hit a drum and it like stars fly out from the drum and then go out the bass drum and then come out the screens in the back. And this band's pulse in time of the people who are doing this, and the sticks are lit and all that. And so he and I are throwing this thing together. So he's playing drums with the EDM, dubstep, whatever mashup stuff I'm doing, and we're just gonna make a bunch of noise and a bunch of lights and awesome stuff. That's what I've been doing.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's, as easy as that sounds, it's a lot. There's a lot of moving parts, and I've been not sleeping enough.
Oh man! So how long's your set?
Well, it's it's hard to say because we're doing mini sets in between established DJs. So rather than have us do some big, goofy, flashy thing that is, I don't know, it maybe not as clubby as we'd like it to be to keep the club energy going. We're doing in between. It's almost like we're doing segues. So our sets, we're going to do probably 3 15-minute sets. So we're somewhere in the 45-minute range.
Gotcha.
What we're doing, and then everyone else is doing an hour. And we got Grimecraft and Mega Ran and James Landino and Baroque Queen and Charlie Lamone, who are going to be DJing properly, and we're going to be making extra noise. And I think we're going to try to work it out where Greg does some what his invention is called light beats, and we're going to work with them, and he's going to probably perform with them a little bit as well. I know I've got confirmed that Shota Nakama is going to come out and play guitar on Final Fantasy 15 with me. I just mashed up that thing. It's so funny, man. I mashed up that, and I mashed up the Kratos theme from God of War 1, and then I was going to put them together, like one right after the other in the set, and they're so close.
Oh, wow.
The guy who wrote that particular Hellfire track that I was smashing up, Yoshi, we met at GDC for the first time, and I guess he's been kind of a God of War fan of sorts. And so, yeah, it's just like when you listen to it, it's like, damn, that's totally Gerard Marino God of War approved.
Is it kind of like when you do Dark Side of the Moon to shit. You know, if you play what's the movie?
Wizard
Dorothy and The Wizard of Oz. Apparently, if you start Dark Side of the Moon, did you guys have that kind of connection where, like, if you start a couple of beats after, it like really syncs up?
Well, if you listen to it, you're like, whoa,
they're real close.
It sounds like it's just a track that you hadn't heard.
Oh wow.
Like, oh, I never played God of War 3. Is that from there?
Gotcha.
It's really just right down the line. You could drop that in, and it would almost stick perfectly, at least on the big.
Gotcha.
Because he does what he really brings to it, though. He has these big, sweeping, emotional, connective sections. That
I got you now. So you're saying thematically they're very like in line with each other. I thought you were saying like right down to the rhythm they were matching up.
Well, they both happen to be in the same BPM, in the same key, and have very, very nice. It's like so much it's like it would just drop right, and you wouldn't even think it was wrong to have just drop that into a God of War game.
That's rad. Now, Alex, you were going to ask a question I heard earlier. I think was it you?
Yeah, actually, I was going to ask Gerard how you were going to do that technically, but I think you kind of answered that because I was wondering when you're creating these remixes, are you basically creating sort of a DJ-friendly remix with a lead in and a lead out so that you can put it where you like in your set, or is it something more linear where you're planning out so these things all fit together into one flow? But you sort of answered that question already, I think.
Sort of. I can say that I thought I was just going to chop out sections of, like favorite and useful sections of these game scores and favorite sections of club tracks and just do it all on the fly. Like just make sure get them all lined up according to key and BPM, and just mix all the way through and make some, you know, like a regular DJ would, but just like with a 2-layer DJ approach, you know. So it's a club track and some game elements with some samples from, you know, dialogue and effects, and it's like triggered individually, and maybe a little soloing on top. That's one way to get a game theme on top of a club track where, you know, just play it. But it's almost impossible. I don't know if that's possible. I thought it was going to be fairly easy, to tell you the truth, and I was going to just get a big stack of my favorite game themes and a big stack of my favorite club tracks that are current, and just start stacking them and mixing them. But holy cow, no, there's a lot more pre-planning than I was hoping to do.
Are you doing it in Ableton?
I'm currently doing the mashups in Cubase, and my performance software is Tractor.
I was just gonna mention that recently Tractor's got some. I mean, it's really blurring the line between, you know, basically like a compositional tool and a performance tool. Has anybody ever used Tractor actually for sort of production work?
I think they have. A lot of the DJ software has taken a lot of steps into that direction. A Serato, now there's a Roland controller for Serato that actually has built-in TR-808s, 707s, and a few other things. So it's like right there on the unit to like turn on, synced to the track you're playing that has been beaten previously. So yeah, I mean, the line's been blurred where you could conceively be producing your mashup while you're in the club. I mean, all the tools are starting to be in there, and you can also you can lock up like Live and Tractor. Now this link, the Ableton Live link, Tractor is compatible with it, so you can have them on the same computer, or the next DJ coming in could link in. One could be on Tractor, one on link on Live, or more than even one or two. So the lines get blurred. This is I thought about looking at Live for this. It seemed at the time definitely just on the DJ side of things, it looked like I'd be better served with Tractor. I mean, maybe not. Ultimately, Live does do almost the same thing, but in a different way. And I can tell you, Tractor is really not a DAW. And so, you know, I'm like going for key commands and other things that just don't do what you think. Yeah, they name things differently, just the way that it's all structured out. And there's some little landmines in there that I found on stage. Whereas, you know, like if you had this preference checked, and then you do that, then it's going to act differently than the last time that you did that. You know, and since you just went through and changed your preferences and only just now, I don't know. It's an interesting journey I'm on here.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say there's an interesting. Sorry to get all philosophical on you again, Gerard, but there's actually raised I'm a philosophical kind of guy, and I think about these things. But I'd be interested to get your input. I read an interesting thing the other day where it was like an internet rant sort of fest between two guys. One person was saying that DJs are not musicians, and the other person was saying that. Hold on, wait a moment, Carl. Don't stop the show yet. The other person was saying that actually they are musicians, but the point there was that, you know, DJ software in some cases makes it so easy when you're a DJ, what people are paying for is not your technical ability, because that's sort of now like the basic lowest level of currency. What they're paying for is your taste. So do you think nowadays when we look at game audio, it's in certain circumstances, it's pretty easy to put together a game audio. You know, it's pretty easy to put together a package for a game. You know, you throw together some sounds, you throw together some music. You've got packages like Logic. Logic will get you so much value just for this much money. You've got all of these instruments you can use. Like to a certain extent, it's become quite easy to do what we do. So would you agree that even now, even with game audio, when people contract you to make stuff for their game, it's not so much the technical ability anymore, but it's actually just your taste that they are paying for? What do you think?
Well, I would hope so, because I really hope so, because that's what's going to make me unique. That's what's going to make any one of us unique. Whatever it is, like for me, it's the Gerard filter. For Kyle, it's the Kyle filter. It's like, whatever it is that all of our lives, our musical lives, our regular lives, all that plays into how we feel music should sound should sound. And that's how you do something original. And the argument of whether DJs or musicians, and that now it's easy to do technically. Well, it's easy to beat match tracks. But really what DJs, that was like a harder thing to do with just turntables. But the thing is, it really wasn't just about that. Just picking the right ones to go and making a flow all the way through the show. And also just having access to the music. Back then, it wasn't just like the internet where everything you could pretty much find. It was, nobody could afford to have all that music. So back when I was going to raves and stuff back in whatever, 89. Yeah, it wasn't, you just couldn't ever, that'd be the only place you could hear that music, was to go there. So it wasn't just, and the DJ may or may not have had anything to do with the music he was playing outside of finding it and knowing that it would go together, and they would create a narrative for their evenings, and the best ones always did and always will. And just because it's easier to match beats, it doesn't make it any easier to keep on top of everything that's cool and stick together a nice narrative of cool stuff that's going to keep everybody happy and loving everything. So, and that's what I'm trying to bring to this thing. Yes, some of this music I've actually written and I'm just redoing in another format. Some of it is from other folks who have written it and I'm redoing it. And sometimes there's two people and I'm putting it together. Sometimes with actual help from me, and other times just like block and stuff like that, and maybe I'll be dropping some that are already ready to go if it works out that way. I don't think for this show it's going to work out that way, but there's occasions where it's ready to go. So some of the stuff some of the game music out there is club ready, and it would be just fine. You could just drop it and it'll go. But I don't know. To say one's a musician or one isn't, the line has been blurred a little bit. And even though it's easier now to mix beats, it's certainly not easier to put together 3 sets of controllers and
my God,
software talk to each other, and and all this stuff. You could say it's harder actually to do it all. So I don't know who's a musician and who isn't.
How much Marino music are we getting on top of these beats? How many original tracks, or how many mashups are you doing of your own stuff with something else?
Well, there's like a full-on narrative God of War section.
Yes.
So there's that. And I did a kind of a Chainsmokers quick little remix of one of my Spider-Man swinging tunes from Amazing Spider-Man.
Nice.
So it's kind of neat. That might make it in or not. It depends on how
That's quite a collection, man. Chainsmokers doing Spider-Man, doing Gerard Marino's Spider-Man. I gotta hear that.
Well, the thing is, it's really, and I don't want to. I'm starting with games just because I'm here and everybody knows me here, and I know the music and I know the people, and it's just like a logical thing. But this could be done with film music as well, with TV music as well. I could just see this. Well, I hope, I had this grand vision of everybody coming together and having a great damn time, and
hell yeah,
and because we're all connected through this music, because either, in our case, because we played these games for all these hours, if somebody's watched Mad Men or Breaking Bad all the way through 5 times, or whatever, or Star Wars is the easiest one. Any one of these classic movies, or one of the newer movies where the music really just connects because you've just seen it so many times. It's just everything about that, and it brings back those feelings that you had when you watched it. It's almost like cheating, but it's we come to the club to have a big musical experience that's a bunch of things together, and and no one person can really bring it all, I think it could be a thing. It's always been about, music has always been about putting things together, And when it started to reach out and bring in other things, I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's been a unifying thing. I think this is a thing that can, it doesn't just have to be games. It can be films. It could be just, I don't know, whatever, campfire music.
But for yours, this is going to be, I just want to make sure we get it out there. It's the opening night of E3.
Yeah, it's
the Mayan.
The Mayan Theater, downtown Los Angeles. It's less than a mile from the convention center. It's you can look it up. It's a fantastic venue, and it's quite a lineup of DJs who you've probably already heard of and have already been doing a lot of great work, and a couple of us that maybe you haven't. And it's it should be a whole bunch of fun no matter what. It's anybody can come. It's a $10 ticket, and it's
what time?
It starts at 9.
What time do you go on?
I'm not sure if I'm going to go right on at 9, but like I said, there's going to be 3 or 4 mini sets for me and Greg with Lightbeats. So I don't know if we go on. We'll probably go on, I don't know, 9:30, and then again at 10:30, and then again at 11:30 or whatever, something like that. And we're just going to do quick 15-minute sets that tie everyone together, and nice. Maybe some guest appearances here and there. I've talked to some other composers. There might be some other guest composer appearances where they perform either on keyboard or guitar on stage.
That's great.
Nothing outside of Shota Nakama is official just yet. Some big ones too, but
well, keep your eyes peeled. Is it being talked about on the Mayan site so people can keep an eye on it there? I want to check. Make sure.
Well, we're just about to start the carpet bombing, so you're about to be hearing about it. Yeah, I mean, really, there's just like a link on our mutual Facebook pages right now, and there's an Eventbrite site where you can buy tickets. But nice. And I'll be dropping all that on my site ad nauseum for the next couple of weeks. But, it's so many moving parts. There's plenty of things that look like could conceivably derail things as you go along on this first time out sort of thing. First time I've been a producer, a promoter, if you will.
Yeah.
So
you're all by yourself on that stage until you get the guests.
Well, it's also, I don't know. I mean, it's not just, it's just not just me doing all of this stuff. I mean, it's a musical event in the evening, but we've actually tied in. Actually, it's with Hugo, is one of my partners. Hugo.
Oh, nice.
Castro. So and he works for Pro Mexico, which is a business development wing of the Mexican government. So they are one of our sponsors. And so we've got we have a kind of a networking event that starts off the evening, and then it turns into the party. So there's a specific sort of game developer networking thing going on previous to the show. So my whole thing is the show, and his thing is the networking side of things and the coming together of countries, and mine is the coming together of musics, and we're trying to make something cool and fun happen here.
That's right.
And so there's that. There's those moving parts. There's my moving parts, and then there's everything else. I mean, all the administrative stuff, the emails. Can't imagine. I mean, I'm just typing, when I should be mixing. It's quite a bunch of stuff.
Hey, from an educational standpoint, do you own all the rights to all the music you've ever written for games? Or let me put it this way, for the music that you're going to use in your DJ set, do you own the rights to those? Did you have to go get permissions? For somebody else who wanted to try something like this, do they have to reach out to somebody else even about their own music?
To perform it live? No.
Okay.
To release a record? Yes.
Because you're going to make money off of it. But you make money off the live, though.
Well, that's licensed performance of. It's like, and I'm using music that is. I mean, you can play any record in any club, So any released thing you can play in a club, and so everything I'm playing is released. So I don't need permission to perform it. If I was going to sell it somewhere, if I was going to even put it on YouTube, I'm sure I would need permission. But to go in a live place and play it, which is licensed by all the PROs, which stuff is paid for. So technically it's already paid for.
Gotcha.
And I don't necessarily have to keep track of it. I probably, if the club is being, I mean, I really don't know how clubs work. I don't know if they really have to keep track of everything that's played there. I don't think they do. I think they pay a blanket and then
they pay a flat fee first.
Well, they pay a flat fee, but I don't even think they have to track what's played. I think that that they just, their money goes into a pool that ASCAP or BMI and CSAC just kind of split out in some wizard-like
Is that how I'm getting my 15-cent checks from ASCAP? Is that how that's happening?
It's probably one of those things where everybody gets 15 cents, and
thanks, ASCAP.
And we're glad to have that piece of bubblegum.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I didn't know that, man. So a club pays a fee, and then you can just play music there and live. And now that's fantastic. And now for your stuff, as far as games are concerned, do they fall in that same realm? I guess since you write stuff for a game and it ends up on ASCAP, so it would be part of that flat fee that it comes. So a DJ who does this as a profession could go in and just play game scores the whole time then, right?
Well, particularly if it was released, there's probably some legal issues where if you just ripped them out of the game and they weren't actually released, there might be some, since they haven't been registered with one of the performing rights organizations.
Yeah, that would be.
Perhaps that's a legal no-no. But is anybody going to look at that? I doubt it. But as long as it's been released, you're pretty well assured that you're allowed to play it. You don't need to ask specific permission.
When you say
play it like that,
when you say released, that means released as a soundtrack and not released as part of the game, right?
It means released in some format where it's like standalone. Like they might give it away for free on the website. Everybody download this track. That's likely to, I'm not a lawyer here, but that's
yeah, we're not putting you in a corner here.
So what I'm saying is, like, if you unpack the PC game and pull out the audio,
there might be issues there.
That's probably not legal to go and drop in a club. Whereas if you bought the CD or you even just downloaded the free thing that they used to promo the game or came with the game, then that should, for almost all intents and purposes, be only fine to go play in a club.
And that's good because it promotes it for the composer too. So like one of my favorite CDs from a game was The Seventh Guest. The Fat Man put out a CD as well as the game. Go DJ that. That's such a great soundtrack too.
I don't know that anybody's done it.
Yeah. So anyway, so he would get, oh, well, you're doing it. I'm just riffing on your idea. But he, so in the end, it's good for the artist, right? Because it's promotion, because all these people at the club are hearing this music. I wonder if there's a way to let people know, like maybe you release the set list on your website and let people know what your mashups were. I wonder if I'm not trying to suggest, but I know I'd be curious, or I'd want as an artist that if I knew that some DJ was playing my music, I'd want them to be able to find me, I wonder if there's a way to do that, or if there's a responsibility a club has to give that information out.
I should just get like one of those sort of, what is it, Wall Street, scrolling text LED
Hell
things.
Yeah.
Now playing.
What's your DJ name, Gerard?
I'm going by GK Music.
Oh, nice. I like it. My DJ name would be ASCAP, but it would be a hat and a butt.
Nice. Classy, very classy.
I like GK Music a lot. The implication is the unsaid ease there between G and K, huh?
Yes.
There's a couple of things working there. I think. I don't know. I hope.
I like it.
It's not too far away, and it kind of sort of comes from the very first time I finally decided I was going to be a solo guy, and I bought the gear to make it happen. Whenever that was, 1990 or something. I bought a sequencer, and the very first tape I made, where it was just me and a big bunch of Pink Floyd sounding stuff, I just wrote on the tape G Music. That was just the name of the first tape I ever made all by myself back then. So that's the name of my company. And then, so as a DJ, it was like, well, am I just going to be G Music? And I thought, but then I was thinking GK, I don't know, it's GK, that's my middle initial. And it's GK sort of sounds like DJ. and and GKM almost sounds like EDM.
No, that's nice, man. Yeah.
And so I don't know, maybe it'll go shortened to GKM or something. I don't know, but it just seemed right, so I just went with that.
Very well. You know what I was sitting here thinking about when you were talking about like when you first decided you were going to go solo and you set up your company and how long ago that was, and I was thinking, man, the rules were so different back then. And there wasn't like a bunch of names. I'm doing a thing that I haven't talked about yet, and we've had to think about a name. And I keep going over these names, and it's like everybody has the names that we think are cool. It's like we're just gonna go with paper bag. There's never been a paper bag in game audio, for Christ's sake. You get tired of the hunt. Jesus Christ, how many names have been used already?
All of them.
I like the GK music. It's nice, man.
Thanks.
Also, isn't that your gamer tag as well? So if, I don't know if maybe that I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, it's been close to that. No, I'm not trying to hide, but yeah, it was G Music has been. I think that's my PlayStation tag. My Twitch channel is GK Music now. And also I've been wrestling with how to spell it. If I want to have it with a MUSIK, if I want to have it
Q,
just a Q or the QUE as it was, so it's just it's hard to brand yourself. It's hard to name yourself. And, even though I'm using my initials, it comes from my past and all that. It's tough to just say, okay, this is what it's going to be.
Yeah,
I don't know. I felt like it shouldn't just be Gerard Marino. I don't know. I don't know why. I just felt like it should be. It should have a different brand.
Yeah, it's like who you are. It's got to reach into the soul, like a Red Studio. Like,
I think we just found the name. I just found the name.
This is an inside joke between Gerard and I, because the first time when I got this room built, I sent him pictures. And I was so proud of it. I was like, because I feel all inspired in kind of red and gold, and I was going for like this old New Orleans kind of like, I don't know, almost a brothel kind of feel maybe. And so I was all proud. I sent Gerard a picture. And I was like, look, it's done. And he goes, red? That's all he wrote with a question mark. So to those who are,
I thought he did that in person, and then it's just been in.
Oh, is that what it was? Maybe
everything since then has been like.
I did have an open house.
So, I don't know.
Anyway,
I
sorry
didn't
about the inside joke.
Did it, then I just dropped the insult of all time or whatever until he tells me about it later. It's like, oh, I guess that might have not been the most sensitive thing in the world. I walk into his dream studio, and my first comment is, red?
Red? Oh, I'm red in the face. That's what cracked me up about the drink. So those who didn't get the inside joke, when Gerard held up his drink.
I apologize for that now.
It was red. So I want to take a moment to say thank you to Isotope for sponsoring the show. Let me talk to my friends and hang out with some awesome and talented people. RX6 just came out. I installed it today. Amazing.
And
amazing.
Do your guests get a free copy of RX6?
I'll let him have it. I'll let you pitch that one. You're on your own. But RX6, I want to tell you about this cool ass feature. So when I use RX, I'm using it for a lot. I have a lot of tabs open. The max number of tabs that RX will open is 16. So you can you can run 16 files at the same time doing cleanup and all kinds of stuff. But sometimes a lot of those files need the exact same cleanup. Like say you're doing some VO stuff from a game, and it was all recorded at the same time in the same booth, and you want to clean up the noise, right? So what you have to do is you have to clean up the noise in tab 1, then you do the same settings for tab 2, tab 3, tab 4. I mean, once you set those settings, it's easy. You just kind of move through the tabs and keep hitting process on the cleanup, on the denoise. Well, with RX6, they have this like tabs collapsed kind of view where you can open up your 16 tabs like I do in my case, and then collapse it into one tab that plays all of the audio at the same time. And I was thinking, this is brilliant because you can create your own wallas here. You can create like custom wallas for the game. You can get a bunch of voiceover actor stuff going on, one in each tab, collapse it into one like cacophonous walla. But what's cool about that, set aside the sound design that you could do with it, is you can apply that denoise, if you will. I guess I shouldn't say that because I didn't see a denoise in RX6 like they had in RX5. So they've got some other way they're doing noise. I got to figure that out tomorrow. But you could apply like a denoise process to that collapse tab, and it processes it across all 16. So instead of me going tab, process, tab, process, tab, process, tab, process, I just collapse them into one, hit process, and go get some coffee. And then when you expand it again, each one of those tabs shows the denoise process has been done to it. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant piece of gear right there. I always brag about RX, but I love everything that iZotope's putting out. So iZotope, thank you for sponsoring the show. And I think we're going to do, is it next show we're due to do our next giveaway?
Yeah, it's going to be the end of the month. So,
yep. So we'll set that up next time. And we don't even know what it is, but we'll discuss it behind the scenes. If you have any preferences, man, hit us up in Twitter because we could do that. We could just say, look.
Well, we could try. There's a little bit of convincing that needs to happen for something that's such a recent release. But
oh yeah, well that's not, there's some off limit stuff that we can't give away. But if you do have some software from iZotope that you particularly are interested in, and if the majority rules, maybe we can make arrangements. I'll see if I can contact them and see what we can do. So thanks iZotope for sponsoring the show. Any guys got questions for Gerard?
I did, but you asked it already. So I mean, I
what
guess
was it?
It was the one about how licensing works, just for like people to kind of know. But I guess, Gerard, what would be your expectation in terms of how the gamers are going to be receiving it, considering that this is the first E3 in a long time where it's open to the public? So, and then you also have that E3 mix that happens as the other show. What will be your expectation as far as how the gamers are going to receive this actual event?
Well, there's enough things that they're guaranteed to like about it, to where they're going to have a decent enough time and feel like it was money well spent. So what are my expectations? Well, I'm bringing my A game, so I hope they're going to dig it because, I spent a good deal of time and some cash and some sweat and blood and tears and all that. So I'm hoping it's going to work out all right. If they don't dig it, they don't dig it. But it won't be for lack of trying on my part. I think it's gonna work out just fine. But
are you going to record the show?
A buffer zone with folks they already like, so they're gonna like it anyway. No matter if I just completely crash and burn like a rodeo clown out there.
No way. Are you going to record it so we can hear it for those of us who can't make it?
A stream.
Well, it should be. We're working out exactly how, but it's going to be streamed somehow, and we're definitely shooting a lot of video. We're gonna have a camera crew out there, and they've got good cameras there. They got 4 stationary iMag type cameras that we can tap into. So we're gonna record all the stuff that they're doing. We're working out whether we can fire that out to Twitch or whatever. So we're going to try our best to have it fly out like an actual full-on TV variety show sort of thing, if possible, on my Twitch channel or whatever. If it's that's another one of the 437 technical issues that are being addressed. So yeah, it will be recorded one way or another.
And you're doing a technical rehearsal, I imagine, right? Getting up there and making sure everything works.
Yeah. We should probably have it all. We should be able to do that the night before, because we picked a great day, Tuesday. So there's probably not going to be an event there Monday, so we're probably going to be fine. Because they were cool. They're like, there's nobody here. You can come and set up all and do whatever you need to do. Sometime between business hours and all day the next day. So we should be all set up, tech rehearsed, and sleeping the night before.
Well, I say what you do is you set up a webcam during the tech rehearsal, and you log into Game Audio Hour, and we will stream it live while we're talking.
That sounds like a terrible idea. because I will not have slept the night before that.
Hey, man, what kind of friend are you? I want free shit. I want to drive.
I'll give you a free video after the fact. That'll probably be That's the thing. I don't want to be seen in public the way I'll probably be. I don't know. I mean, that's like could be the worst day of my year for all I know. Where I might be, I might not be the nicest guy in the world. I mean, I might be, going crazy. I might be just riding on cloud 9, but I don't know. The next day, the next day will be awesome, but that'll be a day of abject nerves for me.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
maybe I don't necessarily want all of that. Just
shit! I don't want to Mad Marino, whatever it is.
The key moments.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Don't worry. I'm just kidding. We've all been there, man. Those are hard, man. Good for you getting up there and doing it, dude.
Dude, I don't want to Mad Marino. If I have to come help you, like,
I tell you what, I won't even sing a lullaby to my daughter because she's a critic.
My daughter's almost as bad on that front.
It's like, but it's a lullaby. Go to sleep. Stop bitching.
Okay, random question. Are there going to be QuickTime events? I mean, I'm just saying, hey, you have all this stuff. It's games music, right? So there can be like interactive stuff where everyone, you can have like,
everyone has the app and they have to like do this during your performance.
Yeah. No. I'm thinking stuff like you shoot a webcam down on the dance floor, and then it'll be things like everyone is just rushing to the right side of the floor in order to make something cool happen on the screen, and then you get to the next thing.
That sounds like a metal wall. What do they call it? The wall of death? No, is that right? The metal thing, like the things that the young kids do these days at metal gigs, where they all run against each other with their arms going like this. What's it? No, it's not a mosh pit. That's 90s, Chase. Mosh pits.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm retro. I'm a little.
Parappa Live, says Sean LaVale.
Yeah, what you should do is you should get somebody to make an app. We can do it for you. We'll make you an app which is like tap tempo. So all of your audience has to sort of tap tempo, and you just sort of get the aggregate average tempo out of that. I wonder what it would actually be. That way you could as people get more excited.
I don't know about this. I mean, everyone's going to be. Already without an event there, people are just like this on their phones, and that's exactly what we want during this event, right? Okay, everyone's going to be there on their phones like this. And...
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully we're not on the phones. Hopefully everybody's like, hands up.
Dancing. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hey, what is the slowest BPM tune you have in the set list?
Well, let me see. It's probably like there's some dubstep in there, so it might, it could be like.
Ironic. That's what's ironic about this question.
Yeah, so I think 90.
Yeah, it's surprising how many people can dance at 80 to 90.
Yeah,
there's a lot of rhythm in there.
I have to do my Spaceball 2-step to that one.
2-step.
Yes.
What the hell?
My Spaceball 2-step, Kyle. My Spaceball 2-step.
All right, you're not wearing a cowboy hat during this baseball 2-step.
No, I'm wearing the cat suit. Remember when it's like it's just walking.
That's much better.
That's much better. 2-step. I was in a club once and it broke out into a 2-step and I broke out the door.
I can guarantee you that I probably will be the best dancer in this venue. And
I'm hearing a lot about you, Chase. We're hearing you are the karaoke king.
That's not even the biggest singer yet of the.
Well, this is me. I never go to karaoke. I've got to go just to see this. And now you're talking to me. You're the 2-step tango master. What's going on here?
I can freestyle to almost any beat that they'll throw up on there.
Damn. You play a mean basketball game, except against Vince.
That's serve, and I'm gonna be quiet for the rest of the show.
Gerard, you missed our barbecue, and leading up to the barbecue, Chase had laid down a lot of crap about this particular basketball game, and so they brought it. It was on, was it the original Nintendo or something? And Vince proceeded to just
cream.
choose your embarrassing adjective and insert it here. It was a massacre.
If there was an esports league devoted to this game, I would be like Scrooge McDuck, just diving through pools of gold.
What is the game? Maybe Gerard's played it.
Double dribble.
No.
Old school basketball game.
That was my
so
nickname in
old.
high school. Double dribble.
Well, when you said basketball game, I thought you meant basketball game, but like with an actual
I
basketball.
might win that
Yeah, I've
one.
got a pretty
I
good.
was just trying to picture that. And Chase is one of the best basketball players too. Like, except when he plays Vince, and they're like, now this I got to see.
Yeah.
But I was picturing
You know,
like
I
a
was-
real basketball game.
Oh man.
Hour streams. That's what we'll call it.
Well, you guys, we've already done an hour. Unbelievable. So we have the sad fact of having to close the show. Gerard, thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for telling us about your set. Good luck. Break a leg, as they say.
Thanks.
As I say to my daughter, who's not very coordinated, break a leg, but not literally. And man, I hope it goes well for you. And you know what? I know that you had said, "Are you coming?" And I was like, I don't know. It's pretty far away, but I need to make an effort. So I'm putting it in my calendar to find my way down there. It's going to be Tuesday night. I'm not even going to E3 this year.
Sacrilegious.
Wow. Wait a minute. Not at all.
Not a bit. Not a single moment. Not a second.
Usually you and Mike carpool down there. What's the occasion? Going back to Scotland? Did they get you?
No. I don't know, man. Just E3 for me. I don't know. I mean, it's a good event. People should go. It's just so bombastic and huge, and there's a lot of work going on right now. So I have to make sacrifices, but I got to dedicate myself to some GDC because I haven't been there in 2 years. I need to get my shit together, but that's not about me.
Can I carpool with you, Chase?
What'd you say?
Can I carpool with you?
Absolutely.
Alex carpools in a boat, by the way, because that's a long.
I hope you've got good seals on your windows because we're going down to the seabed.
Oh, I've got the Herbie car outside. We're going under the sea.
Oh, shit. Take the LA River to get you right there. All right, Gerard. Thanks for being on the show, guys.
Anytime.
Thanks for being here as usual. I love seeing you here, Alex. I hope I see you next week, but no pressure because I know that it's back and forth.
Yeah, thanks. It's been great to be here.
Yeah. So like us on Friendster, connect with us on Connect Face.
Search for us on Alta Vista.
Listen to us on MySpace.
Alta Vista.
Save our link on Lycos. And
Not on Navigator.
what are some of the? We just got to pull out the worst ones. But okay, so I'm hanging up.
GQ Music on MySpace.
Yes.
Watch it.
That might still exist though. Be careful because didn't Timber who was it? The guy used never mind. Justin.
Everyone's still.
Justin Timberlake.
Didn't he push MySpace again out of
He bought
nowhere?
it,
Yeah.
Tom is not in charge no more.
Gerard, break a leg, man. Seriously. Thanks for being on the
Thanks.
show.
I hope you can come if you can, and thanks for having me on, man. It's always fun.
Oh man, I appreciate it.
Thanks, Gerard.